Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
It is lovely to come across words or concepts, but usually words that encapsulates a whole experience or even a life principle. Um, because often I think part of the beauty of such words is that you have those experiences, but you weren't aware that there are or that there is a word for that.
That can actually that it's a thing
Mm,
with a word and with a name.
yes.
Yeah, and I think the Japanese is experts in that.
Yes.
Like the word that we discussed a while back, ikigai. So it's these just a term, just one single word, but it's a whole concept.
Yeah, like ikigai that says to do what is really fulfilling.
Yeah, what makes you feel alive.
Yeah, different parts of yourself coming together. I mean, there's a quite a complex process taking place there.
Yes.
And they have this one word.
Yeah.
And they say apply ikigai.
Yeah.
And then it falls into place. So, and the Japanese in particular, maybe because they have a lifestyle where certain life principles guide them and help them to live a richer, more fulfilling life.
Well, that's a picture that we have. We are a little bit smitten with Japan at the moment. Our niece is going to teach in Japan for a year. So Japan is very sort of in our really year, and we're constantly looking at air tickets to go and visit. Big dreams. But always I've found there are so many Japanese words that I remember when my mom was always doing a flower arrangement, and there was this one principle that you couldn't do it, ikebana. You had to be a trained ikebana artist, floral artist, to do real ikebana, and it was also like a definite thing with rules and principles and all of that. So the word that we want to discuss today is and I was saying in the Afrikaans version, I'll say it and I hope it's pronounced right, and George must explain it. So it's the word yutori. And we're hoping it's right. Yutori.
Yutori. And they say its basic meaning is spaciousness. It is a kind of living with spaciousness. For example, it's leaving early enough to get somewhere so that you know you're going to arrive early. So when you get there, you have time to look around. From another angle, it says, it is the beautiful concept of creating space in your life. To breathe, to think, to simply be. Slowing down to take in the world around you. No rush, no noise, just presence. It's beautiful.
And it ties into contemplative spirituality, all those same basic principles, and like silence, like presence, all of them, and it just encapsulates it in that one word. This is so beautiful. And I think it's more than just time, a spaciousness in time. I think it has to do with the spaciousness in terms of your living quarters. How full is it? How cluttered is it? Because I think that also creates stress and anxiety and a feeling of not that feeling of freedom that one can have in a place that's nice and open and space.
But in all probability, it ties into our inner processes as well, because the way we arrange the things around us is a reflection of things going on inside us.
Often.
Yeah, so it all ties into each other and it plays into each other. Yeah, you were saying in the Afrikaans recording about your experience during COVID.
Yeah, I think during COVID we really had that principle was so prevalent because we had time.
And we had nowhere to go.
And we had nowhere to go. I had so many orders for dinner services. I think people were staying at home, not eating out, getting very tired of the stuff that they put their food on. And I really had such a lot of orders, commissions for dinner services, but I could take my time. I could make them at a much more leisurely pace than usual. And I so enjoyed it because it was really enjoying the clay again, finishing off very carefully because I had the time to do it. I couldn't send it off with the couriers even. I had to wait for that. So it was absolutely, it felt luxurious to have the time to just make this at such an easy pace. And it was actually wonderful. And I was thinking, this is the way I want to live. I want this spaciousness in terms of even finishing things. I always say I work well under pressure, but it's actually not true. I get a lot done under pressure, but it's usually rushed. I'm stressed. In terms of pottery, it might not be finished off so well. And it's really stressful to live like that.
And the realization that modern society, our way of life, I don't know what exactly the reason is, but there's a creeping effect. And before we know it, we're rushed again.
Yeah, because I honestly felt we could live like this and we should carry on even after COVID. And before we knew it, we were back in just being rushed. So it's also something that one has to do very consciously. I remember I once had coaching, and the best advice that I had was in a difficult period of my life, and I didn't see any options, any solutions to my situation. And this coach said, do everything at a slower pace, literally everything. Eat slower, walk slower, drive slower. And it made such a difference because it wasn't something that I just could do. I had to consciously think of doing these things at a slower pace. And it made a huge effect on my life. Just to really be there while I'm doing things. It grounded me really. It helped me to the example that he used is that like driving around in a traffic circle at too fast a pace and you can't see the exits.
Yes.
So if you don't slow down, you can't actually read which exit you have to take. So, and that was just such wisdom for me at that stage.
So you're not aware of options.
You're not.
It's often you're so flooded with anxiety and tunnel vision that you're not aware of options announcing themselves and so on. And to a degree, we've already touched on it. How do you bring Yutori into your life? How can it be a life principle that you live by, that can help you? I think by taking on less.
I think so. I think it means that one has to simplify your life. You have to really look at what is unnecessary in your life. Your space around you, maybe simplify that. Declutter.
Because it has a reverse effect.
It has.
If you clean things out and it's almost like you make space. There's a spaciousness in taking stuff out. Yes.
But I think also it's not something that one will do overnight. It's also again, intention, but then maybe starting slowly with something and see what effect it has on you. So, and to really, and I think I've seen something beautiful, a beautiful picture of people sitting and eating using a tree stump as their table, and it says that people who live far below their income, their means, actually have a lot less stress than people that are constantly accumulating, that constantly feel that they need more or they need bigger. So even to look at that, am I actually living at the level of my means, or am I living above that? Because that's also part of a big that race just keeps getting quicker and quicker.
Yes. And doing things with presence.
Yes.
Being there in a conversation, in the way we eat, in the way everything. So just being aware and really being open to such a way of life, I think that can make a huge difference. So we keep our ears and eyes open for Japanese words, because they tend to have a very good influence on us. And
we're brushing up on our Japanese.
Yeah. But thank you for being part of the conversation. We'll talk again next week.
Keep well, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.